Hello, everybody. This is Barnabas, Sons of Thunder, episode number 2. My name is Rhett Ritchie.
And I'm J.E. Bundy. Have you ever been lost before? Have you ever found yourself in a part of town that you're unfamiliar with and you don't know how to get back home? The same thing can happen with ourselves. We can lose our identity depending on our surroundings, and it can be a scary feeling.
So if you've ever felt this way, join us on the journey as we venture into episode number 2. What?
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Barnabas, Sons of Thunder, episode 2.
Episode number 2.
Episode 2. We're glad you're back. Thanks for... we really do appreciate you spending some time listening to us and joining us here, and we're hopeful that you enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah.
We're hopeful that you find something encouraging, maybe just something uplifting, maybe you get to laugh at us and our stupid antics and things like that every once in a while. So hopefully it can be a little bright spot in the rest of your week. So.
For sure. And we actually have 2 guest visitors who came and visited us last episode. So many people requested it. And it's Thunder and Lightning.
That can't be a thing. That can't be a thing that we
But
do.
so many people asked to see Thunder and Lightning once again.
They didn't. But
No, they did.
I'm glad we got a chance to see them though. But anyways.
Well, I mean, they look good.
Okay.
We'll talk about humility sometime.
That's probably a good idea. That would be a good topic.
So this one time I went, this is a funny story.
Yeah.
This one time I actually went to church camp and I won the humility award. So I went to church camp and I won this award.
Yeah.
But then
And then
I
you
made
bragged
the
about it?
award into a necklace and I wore it around and they took it away from me.
Did they really?
No, that's a fake story. That's a fake story. I never was up for the humility award.
I would be surprised if you ever won any kind of humility award. But that would be awesome if the camp actually took an award away like that. So.
I mean, that's the opposite of what you should be doing, so
Oh, yeah,
I
for sure.
understand. Man, I loved going to camp, though, as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I went to, I went all around, and what's awesome is you go to these huge, big camps, and you're like, I'm Rhett.
Yeah.
And then some of these people are your friends for life.
That is true. I think camp is a pretty crazy thing. How things like that happen. You get to spend a week with someone, and then yeah. I mean, you see relationships that don't just end whenever you go home from camp. They stay around with you, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
what
those are
happens
the
there.
people who, on their birthday, I don't just comment on their page. I send them a message.
Yeah.
It's going to say the exact same thing as if I did comment, but the message is so much more personable.
Yeah. Well, and what I
We
think
just
is,
crossed our arms at the exact same time.
there you go. What I think is crazy about that is there's no other place or scenario or situation that you would ever find yourself in where something like that happens. And you, I guess maybe like if you're in the military, you go to what's boot camp still, and so or if you go through something really harrowing like that, then maybe you find those same bonds. But just in like your everyday life, just going to school, just hanging out, like you don't find that in other places.
It's because like you're pulled out of your context. Like you're in a certain context and you jump into something else. It's just like when it's freezing cold outside and you jump right into the pool.
Yeah.
Just out of context.
I don't do that. So I have though been in a hot tub and jumped from a hot tub into a pool, and that's pretty.
Was
shocking,
that?
too.
Did we do that together?
I don't think I did.
No, that was
again.
snow.
Oh yeah, we did do that. I forgot
was
about that.
So.
Yeah. So I used to live in Ruidoso, New Mexico. It's up in the mountains if you're not familiar, and so we'd get a lot of snow, and I had a hot tub. I wouldn't say a nice hot tub, but I had a hot tub, and
Technically, it was water hotter than
it was
outside.
water that was hot, and I loved that thing, man. I don't miss it. I don't miss all the maintenance and having to take care of it and all that stuff. But I loved being able to in the winter, a foot of snow on the ground and be able to walk out and get in the hot tub in the middle of that. That was awesome. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so Rhett would come up and visit, and we did have competitions to see who could get out of the hot tub and sit in the snow.
It
the
just
longest.
feels like.
Who won?
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, always.
Okay. Well, who else was there? Tucker was.
Yeah, I was gonna say your friend Tucker was there.
Yeah. But we man, I just remember it felt like 1,000 slaps every second you sat there.
It was horrible.
It was just like...
I don't recommend it. Don't do it.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know. I think we try to... For some reason, the man in us has to prove that we are more man than the other. But I feel like
me and you in particular have gotten into some weird competitions.
Yeah.
Like, not normal competitions. Not like, oh, let's see who can jump over this, or let's see who can lift this.
Is that something that normal people do? I don't know. Just try to jump over things?
Ours is like, who can withstand the most hairs being pulled out of their face, or who can... I don't know.
Yeah. We have a past, for sure, when it comes to those kind of things.
Even some really good debates. Mm-hmm. That some went on for 7 years.
Yeah.
And we finally agreed I was right. And
no, that's not what we agreed at all.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. What we agreed was that we were both saying the same thing. But really
those words are interchangeable. They're the same.
That's not what you said.
No, that's what I said.
No, that's not what you said. So the argument was whether or not ignorant and stupid are the same thing. Oh, that is what you said, and that is not what we decided. Because what I decided, which was what was right, was that stupid means that you can't learn. Ignorant just means that you don't know yet. And you were saying that you could call someone ignorant interchangeably with the word stupid, and I said that's not the same thing. Ignorant, we're all ignorant on different things. We don't know everything, but we can learn it. But stupid means that you're not able to learn and acquire new information.
I just want to go on the record in front of, all hundreds of thousands of you.
In front of Mom and Rhett's mom.
I don't know. I just want to go on the record. This argument has taken lots of turns. He didn't explain it very well. But
I explained it pretty well.
No, either way. I feel like I have the ability to learn. Yeah. Like, I've learned a lot of new stuff lately. Mm-hmm. I've been doing lots of working and lots of crafting in my youth center.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned tons of new stuff there. Now, I had to have some people come help me. We installing new televisions and doing all this different kind of stuff. Like, I feel like I have learned a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like they just threw me in there like it was science, and they're like, all right, let's see if Rhett has the ability to learn.
Yeah. Is that where you learned how to button your shirt all the way up to the very top button?
No. All right. So, this isn't for Jay right now. So, this is me still trying to be in touch with the students I work with. This is me still trying to be in touch with the internet. You
find that the students you work with button their shirts all the way to the top?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Oh, especially on Twitter. This is how you wear a polo on Twitter.
No.
And so
that's not
what else is funny is that we call these polos, even though that's just a brand.
Yeah. Well, do we call them polo shirts because the brand, or because people wear this type of shirt to play the game polo?
Have you ever played polo?
No.
Then why do you wear yours?
Well, that doesn't mean it's not called a polo shirt. You've probably worn a football jersey of your favorite football team, but that doesn't mean you played on that football team.
Yeah, but I don't walk around calling this a football jersey.
No, you call it a polo shirt. If you were wearing a football jersey, you'd call it a football jersey.
My mind just got blown. I think we're saying the same thing. It's how it works.
I guess so.
But no, I've learned a lot, and what's always interesting to me is when people bring out these studies, when people bring out these different things, like people do some crazy stuff with like different rat experiments and like what they do, and like even what kind of medication they do on them, and their different results. But as we kind of take a turn towards what we want to talk about today, I'm very mindful of this one experiment that happened. And so let me kind of lay the details out. What transpired is they put these monkeys in this sort of cage facility type thing. It was in small quarters, and they put bananas at the very top of this pole. Now,
I thought it was a ladder. Is it a pole?
I
guess
remember.
It doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
Stupid ignorant, same thing. Ladder pole. But as they go to as they reach a certain point on that, it actually shocks them. And so they start and they go one at a time. And the first one in there is like, oh, bananas, climbs up and gets shocked. Climbs up again, gets shocked, and kind of freaks out. It's like, all right, I'm not going to do that again. They send the second monkey in. and does the same thing. Climbs up, gets shocked, and the first monkey's kind of just looking like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And the second monkey gets shocked again, and they both kind of come to terms with each other like, oh, we're never going to do this. So they start sending another monkey and after another monkey, and eventually they start like grabbing and pulling these monkeys down before they ever get a chance to start climbing this pole or these ladders. They just are going crazy.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy to think that, I mean, beyond just the study, because I know where you're going with it, but it's kind of crazy to think that animals have inborn in them the protective instinct of other animals. Like that's kind of, I think I would normally think of that as a human trait only, but that they see these animals going into danger and they're protecting each other.
All right,
I think that's kind of cool.
Do you think that it's other animals, or do you think that it's same species?
Are you saying that you're the same species as a chimpanzee?
No, I'm not. I'm saying, but I think a chimpanzee is going to help out a chimpanzee, but if a alley cat walked in there, they'd just be like, all right.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't know how.
I don't know where I got an alley cat from either. I'm thinking of the Disney movie Aristocats.
Yeah.
No free ads.
Send us a free copy of Aristocats. Aristocats.
I was gonna say send us a free cat. That's so much better than where I was going.
Thanks, Disney.
Disney, no free ads.
That's right.
Send us on a trip. But
I would love to go to Disney World.
Me too. That'd be awesome. Except for not over Christmas break, apparently. There was a bunch of my students who went.
Yeah.
They said that they couldn't do anything.
Why not?
They said there were just so many people there.
Yeah. We went a couple years ago. I'll let you back your story and say we went to Disney World a couple years ago. And it was pretty awesome. We went during the holidays, and like they actually like make it snow on Main Street and stuff like that. And so it's kind of cool at Christmas time. So, anyways.
As long as you don't want to ride rides, because all those teenagers are like, oh yeah, we're going to ride roller coasters.
We got to ride some rides. So, but anyways,
fair enough.
Keep talking about your monkeys.
Thank you. So the monkeys, like, they would start pulling and grabbing these other monkeys down before they ever got a chance to get up. And then something very interesting happened. So they were protecting themselves. They were protecting the others around them. But only a few monkeys ever tried to climb. The rest just knew the fear from the previous monkeys. So as they start to go to the second part of this experiment, they start to slowly pull the monkeys who had climbed up the ladder, climbed up the pole. They slowly start to pull them out to where it's only monkeys who have never climbed up that pole before.
Never been shocked.
Never been shocked. They send in a new monkey. Monkey sees bananas. Monkey's like, well, all right, I'm going to go up there and get them. The monkeys continued the same habit and just completely ravaged that other monkey and pulling them down, trying to protect them from the shock.
And had no idea why they were doing it.
Had no idea why. Little did they know, when it cleared out, the scientists had actually turned off all the electricity.
Yeah.
So those bananas were willing to go up there and get. It was just going to take somebody to actually go up there and get them.
Yeah.
They completely changed who they were in order just because of what other people around them were doing.
Yeah.
Their natural instinct is to go get the bananas. Instead, they sat behind, and monkeys are crazy.
Yeah.
They're mean too.
Yeah.
Like it looked like, and now I know they weren't really hurting each other like that. They're just tough like that. But it reminds me of all the YouTube videos of monkey. You know, like when they steal someone's sunglasses off them.
Oh yeah, monkeys are crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy. That's like what I'm picturing this whole time is. They are terrifying creatures.
Yeah. Well, and they're so strong. Like, they don't look like they're as strong as they are, but they're 5 times as strong as you, at least.
Not as strong as thunder and light.
We're going to have to find a way to eliminate that.
Nope, that's gonna keep coming back. That's what they want.
I don't know that anyone wants that, but yeah. So is that in that study, is that more a testament to the power of peer pressure, or like what what do we draw from that?
We draw from it is sometimes we completely lose who we are to mold to what's around us. Sometimes we go through life and we get hit with these moments where to identify self almost becomes impossible because of all the different factors that happen around us.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the things that's interesting about that too is that it doesn't even have to be in that same context. Like when you're talking about peer pressure and people forcing you into a certain context or trying to fit with what, because I mean with those monkeys, I don't think they're trying to fit any certain expectation. It's just they're in a scenario that causes them to change their natural behavior. And so a lot of times I think we talk about peer pressure and being caught up in the wrong crowd and stuff like that, and that can change you. But I don't even think it takes that. I think that sometimes you can just be in a situation that's so unfamiliar, that's so outside of your norm, that that it's hard to figure out who you are in that setting. Because like, I mean, me and you sitting here talking, like I feel comfortable, I feel natural. I don't feel like I have to pretend to be anything that I'm not. I don't have to try. Like I just get to be. And I think whenever you can find a place where you get to be who you are, like that's a comforting feeling for sure. Where you can let your guard down. But I've been in situations where you go into a place and it's not even a bad place, it's just a completely different place. Like I remember, so we're ministers, and so we go to a lot of summer camps. Most of the camps and events that I attend, there's the same group of people that are there. Yeah. Ministers that I've worked with, that I see, that I interact
Perseverance
with.
Coalition.
The Perseverance Coalition. That's a secret. Oh. We'll have to edit that out. But there's a lot of people that those have become my best friends. Yeah. And so whenever I get to be around them, it's like this. It's just comfort. It's easy. And but there's this one time whenever I was first starting out in ministry, I had to go to this one camp that I'd never been to before. It's the church I was working for. That's just where they had gone, and so I went to this camp. And I didn't know anyone there. And, for an adult to sit there and think, well, I felt lonely and I felt scared, you might think that's silly, but that's what I felt, and I was a full-grown man, and I walked in here and literally I had never met any of these people before, and so I'm here and I'm trying to find my place in this group who already had their place, who had already been established and had relationships that had been there for years. And so I'm the new man, the odd man out coming into this thing. And I just remember feeling I don't even know how to describe it, but I did not feel like myself. I felt uneasy, I felt jumpy, I felt nervous. And not because I thought anyone was going to do anything mean to me, it's just because I didn't know how, I didn't know where I fit in all of that. And so I think sometimes just going into a scenario where it's so foreign and it's so so not what you're used to, that it can cause you to lose that identity. Because like right now, I don't have to try to be anything that I'm not. But in that situation, like I didn't know how to be me, and so that may be hard to explain or hard to understand if you've never felt that before. But it can be disorienting just to be in an unfamiliar context, for sure.
Think about this, and I think everyone kind of has a similar kind of experience. The very first time anyone really gets in front of people to speak, they completely change character.
Oh yeah.
Even the way, because we're changing context real quick. Even the way we answer our phone, people will be like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hello, this is Rhett." And they answer like they like their voice even changes.
Yeah.
It's just so hard, man. I think the people around us play such a huge deal, and we go from one to the next to the next to the next, and we've slowly morphed and changed who we are here, who we are here, who we are here, and we eventually feel like we're not us.
Yeah.
I had someone once tell me that the biggest cause of depression was no one was genuine.
Yeah.
No one could be genuinely self, and the stress of keeping up with everyone else was the cause. And I don't know that there's any science behind that.
There is.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Okay.
there's a German word. I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but it's called Gesellschaften. Have you ever heard of this? And it's
two episodes in a row with German words.
That's right.
Deutschhounds.
Yeah, episode 1 and episode 2.
Episode 2 and episode 2.
Yeah. So Gesellschaften is this idea that there is no you. There's no like core you, that the you that you are when you're at home is different than the you that you are when you're at school or when you're at work. That whatever context you find yourself in, it's a whole different personality, and it's not even that you try to be different people or that you behave differently. It's just that you actually have a different identity in those different groups. And so I think that in a situation like that, where we compartmentalize so much, like this is my friend personality, this is my work personality, this is my school personality, this is my family personality, that the idea of not having any idea who you really are, I think that's a real thing. Like you can totally lose yourself because there's not a core you that is consistent in all the places that you live.
Well, and I think that happens because all the way back around, we're our harshest critics. I think that goes without saying. I think that's become more evident than any other time. We beat ourselves up so much.
Yeah.
We don't have confidence to go out and just be us.
Mm-mm.
We've got to go say, all right, even it's like, you know what, I'm a nonconformist. You know what, I don't want to fit into this group. I'm not going to change who I am. But all of a sudden you notice yourself saying different words.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens because we have this innate desire to be accepted. But what's so funny in all of this is everybody changes.
Yeah.
If we had this ability to be confident enough in ourselves as a culture, as a race, as a human race, like so much of this would be broken down.
Yeah, and I think too, like when you talk about, overarching conflicts that people have with between, groups of people, nations, socioeconomic groups, races, a lot of the tension that we find in the world, a lot of that comes from kind of this posturing of trying to be something, and I think that if you can just find, like you said, the confidence, and maybe it's not even competence, maybe it's just being comfortable with who you are and not worrying about what other people think. That's kind of where I think I'm at this point in my life, is I've gotten to a point where, I think if I were to go to that camp again, it would be a whole different situation, because I think at this point in my life, I am grounded enough in who I am that I could walk in there and still be me. I think that I've kind of discovered who I really am at the core, and so that need, or that automatic shift from context to context has, I wouldn't say it's 100% gone, but it's diminished for sure.
I'm gonna say I'm the exact opposite. I saw people wearing their collars like this on social media. I have kids who wear it who think it's cool. I'm at that point in life where, man, I wish I had that. I consider this the lowest confidence I've ever had in my whole life.
Yeah.
Even trying to figure out who I am. We don't ever just want to sit in front of you and say, be better because we got through this. This is in all honesty. I struggle with this probably more than anybody else I know.
Yeah.
Is I don't conform because I want to be like something. I conform because I get value from that. And I think that's a real thing. It's people want...
From fitting in?
Well, not even fitting in. Like, my desire is not to be fit in. My desire is to have value from other people.
Yeah.
Other people look at me and either respect me or other people look at... I'm single. That people look at me and are attracted to me. That my value comes from all those different things.
Yeah.
And so at this point in life, I'm trying to gain value from the people I work with, to my bosses, to the people who I'm their boss. I've got all these different relationships, family, then my friends alone, that all these different relationships pull me. And in essence, I've changed somewhat of who I am at the very core. And I not to say there's not good in that, because I think a lot of that's refined me. I think a lot of that's made me better. But there have been so many points in my life where I've just completely lost sight of who I am. And that's because I'm trying to I'm trying to be accepted by everybody as opposed to just accepting myself.
Yeah, and I think at the times in my life where I have struggled with that, it has been less about trying to be accepted. And I remember, through junior high and high school, my kind of the way that I operated, modus operandi is the word I was trying to avoid using, but the way that I lived my life was really to try to not be noticed. Like, I didn't want people to see me. I didn't want people to interact with me. I just wanted to fade away, and so. That kind of became my identity, is that I'm not going to do anything that's going to make me stick out or be noticed or bring any attention to myself. I just want to float through and let people ignore me. So it's interesting. I think that it just manifests itself. It's the same issue. It just manifests itself in different ways for different people.
And so as we kind of conclude episode number 2. We say this, I think we started to say this almost at the end of every episode.
Mm-hmm.
That you'll live to fight another day, and there's always a tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can pick yourself up. Have confidence in yourself. You're made the way you are for a reason.
Yeah.
And use that and be that.
Yeah. Thanks again for tuning in. We really appreciate you spending some time with us, and we enjoy these conversations, and we'd love for you to get involved in the conversation. So if you have a thought or a comment, we'd love for you to post that, and we'd like to interact with you too. So thanks again. That's this week. Are we going to do this? Okay. There we go. Barnabas, Sons of Thunder. I almost forgot what our name was.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Barnabas, Sons of Thunder. We really hope that you found this episode entertaining and encouraging. We really do appreciate all of you who decided to tune in and spend a few minutes with us. If you'd like more, you can find us on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify.